Dr. Dan Ritchie.
All right, we'll see if I can get a 45-minute talk done in 27 minutes. I realized you got to be careful who you put after Nissan, so I put myself after him. Good luck. Talk about a gifted presenter, gifted speaker, clearly someone who loves his clients. How many of you have a copy of his book? Not very many. Nissan, you got to market harder. Come on. We're giving away 50 copies of his book tomorrow, but you do have to show up to his 7:30 session. Really excited for him to be sharing some of his other gifts, his faith, some inspiration. I know you will not be disappointed if you show up tomorrow morning. So Nissan, thanks for speaking twice. Okay, just real quick, I realized sitting in the back, as some people were like, what's Fit Body Forever? That I should probably clear that up just a little bit, because not everybody knows, Nissan, what Fit Body Forever is. So we have 2 license model programs. Fit Body Forever is a license agreement we've had with Fit Body Bootcamp for over 2 years now. What we realized, Fit Body Bootcamp has a big problem. They don't train clients between 9 and 5, right? They have a rent-free facility, they're heating it, they're cooling it, and they're not using it, right? And we said, hey, why don't you train older adults in the middle of the day? And Nissan was pretty resistant at first. He was like, why would I want to train old people? I was like, I don't know, maybe you would want money, but maybe, and I think what's bigger for Nissan, and I think you see that, is maybe you'd want to help more people in your town, right? And pretty quickly, he's fell in love with this population. So Fit Body Forever is a license model that we do with Fit Body Bootcamp owners. Ageless Fitness is a license model we do with any fitness owner. So just to clear that up. So I'm going to talk about how to launch or jumpstart your business. So if you're sitting here thinking, I don't have a business, I'm thinking about launching one, how do I start? This is going to be for you. But if you're sitting here and you've had a business for 10 years or 20 years, like some of you, it could be how to jumpstart, reinvigorate, sort of totally change your business, okay? So it's not just going to be how do I start from scratch. So I have to start with how hard could it be? Where's Dina? She's not even paying attention. How hard could it be, right? I bought a gym. How hard could it be? Of course, my first question was, well, to make money or to just run a gym, right? It's not that hard to run a gym poorly. It's not that hard to run a gym barely, right? I think she had about 100 clients, and she realized she wasn't making any money. So what did I tell her to do? Fire all your customers. You remember that, Dina? She was like, what? You want me to fire all of them? Like have 0 customers? I said, well, you don't want any of them, do you? And she didn't. She fired all of her customers and started over. How hard could it be, right? That's been about a 3-4 year running joke now, right? It's hard to run a fitness business and run it well and make a profit, right? She completely imploded an old ladies circuit gym, started personal training. She was like, well, how do I start personal training? I've never trained anyone. Start with client number 1, right? She now has over 100 clients. She's one of our most successful mastermind members. And it started with her listening to me when I said, get rid of all those circuit members, right? They were paying her $35 a month. I said, you don't want any of them unless they want to become personal training clients and pay you $200-$300 a month, okay? If you build it, they will come. Cody and I thought that when we opened in 2007, right? We'll open Miracles Fitness. People will just come. Ridiculous. So I'm going to give you some key tactics to launch with clients. Open your business from scratch, launch with clients just like Nissan did, right? Now he had an existing business, so he had an advantage. Stop relying on word of mouth or assuming it's going to happen. Build word of mouth. Nissan did an amazing job with that, and after about 30 of them, you did start to annoy me, right? I was like, my goodness, he signed up the whole town. I don't need to see it on Facebook anymore. He built word of mouth, right? I guarantee you probably had people coming in at some point going, I saw Joan sign up for this Fit Body Forever. I don't even know what it is. Can I find out, right? He's building his own word of mouth. So stop relying on it, build it. So how do we do that? First of all, do not try to reinvent the wheel. Beg, borrow, and steal or model other people's businesses. Nissan just gave you all of his tools. Model them. I guarantee you he will be happy to spend an hour with you at the social talking more about it, right? I'm sure he'd love that. I just volunteered him. Build a list, build a following, build a tribe. We don't want to just build a giant list of people we don't know. We eventually want to build a following. We eventually want to build a loyal tribe that we can go back to and say, hey, I need your help. Or, hey, I want to do this. Or, hey, I want to have a lunch and learn, right? It's funny, Nissan's really gifted. For some reason, he didn't realize, like, I could have a lunch and learn and give my book away, and people will get really excited about that, right? Can you tell that people will want to be around Nissan, right? Like, people just would gravitate to him. I'm like, why are you not doing lunch and learns every month, right? And guess what? You use your tribe to fill that lunch and learn, right? You go to 10 of your best clients and say, hey, I need you to bring 10 friends to a luncheon that I'm paying for, and I'm going to give them my book, right? It's really not that hard. So foundationally, if you're starting from scratch, or if you're stuck in a rut, maybe your business has been stagnant for 5 or 6 years, you got to start reading some new material. These are 2 books that I really, really recommend to business owners starting out. The No BS Marketing series, I like No BS Marketing to the Affluent. I like No BS Marketing to Boomers and Seniors. And I like No BS Marketing, I think it's Guerrilla Tactics, Local Marketing. I have all 3 of those on my desk, and I look at them every once in a while. Great tips in there. One of our mastermind members just said, she looked at it again, gave her a whole new frame of reference for how to market to boomers and seniors. 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. I've read a couple of his other books, but the 21 Irrefutable Laws I keep coming back to. The law of influence is key. If you're having trouble hiring, if you can't get good people to work for you, you probably need to understand the law of influence and some of the other laws of leadership, because at some point you're going to have to hire people and fire people. So these are great resources. Foundational things you need to know as a business owner. So how do we build a list? How do we create more word of mouth? How do we get everyone talking about us? Or how do we get the right people talking about us? First, we have to start with, who do you want on your list? This is a key step sometimes we skip, right? We just think, well, I want everyone on my list. Do you really? Do you want anyone on your list? Do you want to train anyone and everyone? I always say the people I want on my list are the ones that are willing to pay double and will refer their friends who will pay triple. That's who I want on my list, right? I want key quality, qualified candidates. So who's your avatar? Who's your ideal client? That's who we want on our list, right? So when Nissan ran Facebook ads, he didn't run it to people 35 to 49, right? That wouldn't have worked. So who do you really want to train? You need to know that. So here's some examples. Who are ideal clients? Affluent, educated. It might be 50 to 59 for some of you. It might be women only. Sharon, I think, trains women only, right? That's okay. Some people I know are just looking for male golfers. I'm going to show you some examples of that. Obviously, they have to live within a reasonable proximity, right? Probably 12 to 15 miles. They're working, they're retired, and everything in between. The everything in between is, I'm retired and I'm busier than ever, right? I'm like, oh my goodness, you're on like 4 non-for-profit boards, you're running an organization, you're volunteering in the hospital, right? They're all over the place on this, and that's great. Our programs support that, right? I said this recently in a meeting. We don't get to a certain age in life, 66 or 67, and say, oh, I've crossed the line where I no longer have to be productive or a useful member of society, right? Like, we still want to have a purpose, right? We still want to do meaningful things. Even if that's just watching our grandchildren, right? Or playing with grandchildren or volunteering in the school, I don't care what it is. People still want to be productive, purposeful, meaningful. So a lot of different segments. I think boomer women are by far the most dominant segment you should be pursuing. The stat that Colin showed this morning blew my mind. They're about to inherit $40 trillion, I think it was. I was like, wow, $40 trillion. They're affluent, they're educated, they're empowered. They really do control the checkbook. If you get the spouse objection, it's probably simply because they want to consult with their spouse, not because they need permission to buy. Grandmothers, grandparenting is the most positive stage in life. Wait a minute, that means I've actually got to get older to get to the most positive stage in life, right? Huge emotional connection, right? Typically highly educated. Some of them are still working, some of them are not. Some of them are literally living to do activities, adventures, and things with their grandchildren. My in-laws, pretty much their entire calendar revolves around what activities are next with their grandchildren. They have a bunch of grandchildren, so they have a pretty full calendar. My 5 kids alone keep them fairly busy. Couples. Couples still want to do all sorts of things, right? Travel. They want to do new opportunities. They might have very different functional abilities, so we need to have a program that can train both of them. I love the fit butt category. And this is not people with a fit posterior. Robert, if you're paying attention, this is not a fit backside. This is a fit, but I don't really want to do crazy, right? This is I've seen your Fit Body Bootcamp stuff, or I've seen your personal training programs, but I really want to be safe. But I'm afraid I can't do that because I'll get hurt. But I really don't want to do crazy anymore, right? So your question, Nissan, is brilliant, right? We want to make sure that our program is going to be safe for you, because that's what they want, right? They want to know that you understand how to train them in a safe manner and they're not going to get hurt. Because the last person I worked with didn't really listen to me. They asked me to do this and that, and they totally ruined my shoulder, and it's taken me 2 years to get over it. They want to know you're not going to do that to them. Then lastly, we have the unfit and the unhealthy. This probably moves into the little bit older population, though we could have a very unfit, unhealthy 60-year-old. Joanne here came to me when she was 80 years old. She had Parkinson's. She could barely walk around the block. She was not fit, had never worked out, and here she is, she wants to go to the Galapagos Islands. Now you can see she got to the Galapagos Islands, which is really cool. We trained her for about 7 months. I said, well, what's your fitness goal? What do you have to do? She said, I have to be able to walk a mile on uneven ground, on trails on the island. And I have to be able to get in and out of a Zodiac boat, which you can see kind of between them, one of those rubberized Zodiac boats. I said, okay, I think we can train you for that. Are you willing to work hard for the next 6 months? She said, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. This is like the last big thing for me, right? This is the last bucket list trip that we hope to do, which I don't think I can because I have Parkinson's, right? Still some of my favorite pictures to see that they got to do this, right? Really, really cool. She was a client for 7 years. I don't think she even thought she'd train with us that long, right? She was training for the Galapagos Islands, right? Then when she came back, she realized, well, I got to train just to be able to keep walking, right? Because now that I can walk. Sad part of this story, we never got her husband, who was the apparently healthy and fit one. He died due to a fall in their home. We lost her as a client because of that. She had to move into an assisted living facility. So the takeaway is keep trying to get the spouse, right? Even though they think they're the fit and healthy one, right? He needed us, we couldn't get him. How about these 2 golfers, right? You might just want to be adding a golf performance program to your fitness facility, right? Golfers in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, you think adding distance to their drives is important to them? Absolutely. These 2 guys pay over $10,000 a year to a functional aging specialist in Manhattan. $10,000 a year for personal training. And I said, Brett, don't worry about raising your rates, because you know they're spending $50,000 a year on their golf membership out in the Hamptons, right? You're their secret weapon. So don't get overwhelmed. We're going to walk through this step by step how you build your list. I've got about 12 minutes left, and then we get to go hit the bar and have food and all that stuff. Okay. So keep it simple. 1 step at a time, 1 contact at a time. We all know approximately 150 people. Now, Nissan probably knows the entire town of Lewisburg, 5,000, right? Some of us know more, right? Some of us know less. But on average, we all know about 150 people in our contact sphere, right? You know a plumber, you know an HVAC guy, you have a mechanic, you've got an accountant, you've got neighbors. We have about 150 people we know, so we've got to grow that quite a bit. So there's a lot of different ways we can build our list online. I actually think with this population, you have to do even more work offline. So website opt-ins, you can have lots of those. You can have web developers build you pages, you can use ClickFunnels, you can have your own website. I give my book away on my website, get about 1 to 2 opt-ins every week. People like free books. Baby boomers still read actual books, which is why you need to talk to Nicole as you walk out. Facebook ads work well. Very few people are advertising fitness programs, functional programs, lifestyle outcomes to people 60 plus on Facebook. Facebook is still ageist. I don't know if you're aware of this. They don't break out the 65 plus population for us. It's just 65 and everybody all the way up to 100 or 105. I don't know the oldest Facebook user. It used to be 102. I don't know what it is today. Anybody know the oldest Facebook user? So you have to hit all of them, unfortunately. Facebook ads work. Somebody at lunch today said, we're having better luck with Google ads than we are with Facebook ads. Well, you should be trying both of those. YouTube videos absolutely work. I have people come into Miracles Fitness, sign up for 11-month programs, pay in full, and I haven't even done the interview with them because they've watched the YouTube video where I do the sales presentation. They're like, nope, I want the 3 times a week program, the one you showed in the video. I'm like, do you want me to tell you how it works? Nope, I know what I want. YouTube videos work. This is, after all, the TV generation, right? They grew up watching, staring at that little box, right? So you got to do videos. YouTube, Facebook, both of them. I don't care whether you do Facebook Lives or you record them and put the videos up. I got an awesome video of Christian Thompson doing all kinds of stuff up here. It's on our Facebook page. So go like, comment, share that thing, right? There was one he did that Cody's like, oh, I wish we'd got that on video. So I got one later. Marion Brand, how many of you know Marion Brand? A couple of you, some of you in Mastermind. She did not come this year, unfortunately. She came to our very first Functional Aging Summit. One of the reasons we continue to have these events is we realize it does change people's lives, also changes their clients' lives. She attended our very first summit. She attended our very first business coaching day before we even had a mastermind. She's since attended 2 mastermind meetings, and we can't get the girl to join, I think because she lives in the Vancouver area. She doesn't want to travel this far. She was totally burnt out. Cody and I could see it. We were like, you're exhausted, you're burnt out, you're totally spent. How do you have anything left for yourself? She's like, I don't have anything left for myself. She was working 12 to 14-hour days in 4 different facilities, right? She's going from this place to that client's home to this place to that place. She finally listened to us. We said, open your own studio. She didn't think she could do it, right? She's like, I can't open my own studio. It's not possible. She opened her own studio. She built her list through the contacts she had, and then she built more through Facebook. So much so that she stopped running ads on Facebook because she couldn't handle all the clients she was getting. Right? So it can be done. She built the list, and she built it very fast. Build your list offline. Now, I know some of you are like, yeah, but I really just want to sit on my computer and put up a cute picture on Facebook, right? You have to get out there and build your list offline. There are over 20 different ways. I think we put up at least 20 on the wall yesterday in our mastermind meeting. Go where your avatar eats. Go where they live, go where they work, go where they play. Find those places. Pop up in their country club. Right? That adding distance to drives and years to your lives. Fit Buddy Forever owner, guess where he put it? On the country club scorecard. 10,000 members saw it all summer long. Network, network, network. We're going to give you a huge opportunity to network right after this. We built this whole event on networking. Cody and I have got to know a lot of people in the fitness industry over the last 10 years. That's where we get a lot of our speakers from. We've networked. Business Network International. Remember I said most of us know about 150 people? I network. I have lunch every Wednesday with 40 other business owners. They also know 150 people. So my contact sphere just grew to about 6,000 people in my market, which is why anywhere I go in town, my kids are always annoyed because I always know someone. They're like, how does everybody know you, Dad? I'm like, sorry, it's part of the job. Rotary. Baby boomers and retirees hanging out at Rotary? Oh my goodness, absolutely. Lisa has killed it at Rotary. Just ask her, she'll tell you. We have 2 Rotary chapters in my community. There's one in the morning and one at lunch. Right? Both of them have 50 to 60 members, and they're almost all either near retirement or after retirement. Kiwanis is another one. There's so many others. There's some I don't even know the names of in your community, right? You need to find them, okay? There are loads of potential clients in these places. Pop in, give a presentation, give your book away, give something of value, give 3 free sessions, become a member. The chamber, I put maybe. Some chambers are awesome, some chambers are not. Kind of depends on how active your chamber is, how many people you get to network with. Our chamber was not very good. I waited 2 years to host a chamber after hours event. Spent somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 to $1,000 catering this event, and 22 people showed up. And of those 22 people, 9 were in my BNI chapter. It's like, jeez. So now, the chamber in your town might be great. There are loads of other networking opportunities. Social capital. As you build your network, you build social capital, right? I can go to my architect friend and say, hey, what's the next development coming? Where should I look at relocating? So much so that he actually built me a building to relocate into, right? Social capital. Your business runs on social capital. How many people do you know, like, and trust that refer you business, and vice versa? It's hugely valuable. How many business owners do you know? How many business owners can you pick up the phone and say, you know what? My last month was down. What was your month like? What can we do to help each other? How can we have a lunch and learn together? How can we partner together? Right? How many referral partners do you know, like, and trust? Build your list offline. Coffee and conversations. This is your idea, Beth. So talk to Beth Pelton right here. Beth joined the Mastermind. She was doing about $8,000 a month. I'm going to share some information. She's like, if I could just get to 9. I was like, how about 10? If I could just get to 9, right? I think at some point in the last year you broke 15, right? And she was like, if I get to 10, that would just blow my mind, right? Coffee and conversations. That's all it is. Simple idea, right? Now, you can invite in a yoga instructor to talk for 15 minutes. You could invite in a massage therapist, a chiropractor. You don't even have to have a speaker. Just come hang out with Beth and have coffee, right? And, oh, by the way, bring a friend. Simple idea. Seminars have been huge. Look at the bottom one here. Have someone else create an event, get sponsors, offer lunch, and make you the keynote. I've done this twice in the last 7 months. Home Care by Design. They're a home care company. They really like us because they want their folks to stay functional fit and live a long time, right? So they can keep sending them caregivers, and a lot of their caregivers just come in for 4 to 6 hours a week to do housekeeping and organization, basic stuff, right? So I said, why don't we create an event? We'll call it the New Aging Paradigm, and I can speak at it. They were like, that sounds amazing. You would do that? I'm like, sure. I'm like, why don't you try to get a couple of sponsors? And I suggested a financial advisor that I'm friends with in BNI. She's like, sure, I'll kick in $150, right? We got 3 or 4 sponsors, $600 worth, paid for the lunch. We had 35 attendees in September. I think we had 40 in May, right? And I'm the headline speaker. It's not that hard, right? You show up, you speak for 30 minutes. I give my book away. Really easy lead generation. You can do this stuff. You can do it. Ultimate Pink Party. So you got to look for events. Ultimate Pink Party is the big breast cancer fundraiser in our town. It's like 400 women that show up at 6 o'clock. They're all dressed in crazy pink outfits. The bar opens way too early. Then they visit all the vendors, and they're partially drunk. Then they have dinner, and they come back afterwards, and they're totally drunk. And guess what? They will give you their email address really easily, especially after dinner. They're like, oh, wow, a 21-day fitness program, and all I have to do is put my name and email down? We will get 80 leads typically at the Ultimate Pink Party. And they're mostly women in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, right? It's the easiest thing. It costs us like $100 to be a vendor there, right? It's a super easy thing. We typically give something cool away in exchange for their name and email address, right? We might give them a 14-day fitness program. One year, I called my buddy, again, social capital. I called my buddy who owns Great Harvest Bread Company. I said, hey, Jerry, will you donate like a $50 to $75 gift basket? I'll put it on the table. He's like, 400 half-drunken women will come by and see Great Harvest, and I'm like, yeah, it's like easy promotion for you, right? So they gave me their name and email address to win the gift basket, right? And then I follow up with all of them, of course, with a 21-day fitness offer, right? Super easy. Caregiver events were probably the best events we ever had. Purdue used to run a caregivers event. They called it the annual caregiver fair. Well, who shows up to a caregiver fair? People in their 50s, 60s, maybe even 70s looking for caregiving for their 80 and 90-year-old parents. And I'm a massive interruption, right? Because I'm like, wait a minute, you're not a caregiving service. I'm like, no, I'm the solution so you never need a caregiver, right? And everywhere else they're going to is like pretty depressing, right? It's like nursing homes, medical devices, and caregiving places, right? And they come to me and I'm like, hey, how would you like a 21-day fitness program, right? And they're like, yeah, because I don't want to ever get old like my mom is, right? We'd get, again, about 80 to 100 leads. Super easy, build my email list. Charity events, we donate items, we give them away. We show up to some of them. Usually we pick our spots on which ones. Gift cards, I've done $100 gift cards, given those away at events. Senior fairs, wellness events. I don't know why, but if you're a fitness person, they will ask you to come out and do like the 2-minute warm-up before a 5K. I can't remember, I think it was March of Dimes. They had like 1,000 walkers. They're like, well, will you come out and do like a 5-minute warm-up? I'm like, you realize everybody's walking like 1.5 miles an hour on this thing. I'm like, okay. So 2 minutes of fame in front of 1,000 people, right? Super easy. Not hard stuff. Make yourself available. Talk to Rosa. Where's Rosa? I just saw you. Right here, sitting in the middle. She didn't know she was going to be in this presentation, but she is. She joined Mastermind last summer. You had about 40 clients, is that right? Rosa, is that right? 40 clients last summer? She just told me this morning she just signed her 75th. 38, okay. So you basically doubled your business in about a year. She built her list primarily 2 ways. She did the book publishing. She created more word of mouth. She ran a Facebook promo. She's doubled her pay. You'll have to ask her how much she was paying herself before. I'm not going to tell you that. She's taking 2 vacations this summer. I was like, wait a minute, it sounds like you're taking 2. She's taking like a 5-day vacation to Hawaii, and then she's coming back taking another vacation, right? Awesome. I don't think you'd taken much of a vacation in your first 2 years, had you? Okay. In 3 years. Okay. Awesome. Be like Banana George Blair. Don't wait for the next thing to happen, make it happen, which means you got to get out of your office on a regular basis. You got to go out and meet people. You got to start doing the online strategies. Even if you're just spending $10 a day on Facebook ads, you got to start doing it, make it happen, build your list. Be generous. Run crazy events where you make a fool of yourself. I wore this pink hard hat all over town. Habitat for Humanity is really smart, by the way. They come to me and they're like, hey Dan, here's this pink hard hat. If you raise $250 or more, you get to keep it for the ladies' build. But if you raise less than $250, you have to give it back. Obviously, I'm going to raise more than $250. I'm not going to give this thing back, right? So we raised $2,700, and we literally took pictures of me all over town in this pink hard hat, which was great. Miracles for Murdoch, simple thing we did for schools. Those apples are Post-it notes to give school supplies to teachers, and all kinds of cool things, games and stuff. We've done food drives. We've even got the mayors to come out and make fools of themselves. Cool thing about that was we won a $10,000 grant for our local food bank, which is really, really cool. I still have people 6 years later ask me, which mayor won? I'm always like, well, both mayors won because our local food bank, which serves both towns, got 10 grand. Become the local trusted advisor. I got on the news several times. Publish a book. So Austin, do you have that video queued up? Did you take yourself out of the slide? Oh man, that was like your name plug there.
Hi, we're Pressworks, the official publishing partner of the Functional Aging Institute. We help business leaders create books that inspire people to action. And a lot of our clients come from right here inside FAI. That's because we know books are really good at helping people learn about health and fitness. And they're great at showing people that you're an expert in your niche. That's why a lot of fitness pros ask us to help them write and publish their first book. People you probably know like Robin and Cindy, Aubrey, Jill, Janice, and Butch. They let us help them write a really good book so they could share their skills to gain authority in their niche, get clients, and inspire more people to get moving. And then some of our fitness clients hire us to freshen up and republish a book they wrote years ago to gain new life out of work they've already done. That's what Jillian and Diane did. Of course, we know not every trainer has the time or the desire to write a book right now. That's why we partnered with FAI to create a third option for you. We call it our Done For You books, and we already wrote the hard stuff for you. You start by just picking from 3 different content options based on the type of clients you want to attract. If you want people in or near retirement, we suggest the Functional Fitness book. If you like helping people lose weight and get in shape, you'll want the Body Transformation book. Or if you like incorporating balance, mobility, and neuroscience with muscle and cardio fitness, then you'll love our brand new Complete Fitness book. Seriously, becoming a published author has never been easier. Just pick your favorite content, then we'll add your story at the beginning and your testimonials and a few photos at the end. Plus, we'll add all your contact information and a special welcome offer. Then we'll wrap it all inside a gorgeous custom cover that matches your brand, like these. Pretty cool, right? And easy for you to get done in as fast as 30 to 60 days. And our pricing for these Done For You books? It's flat rate, just $27.96, which is probably pretty close to what you'll make when you sign just one new annual client as a result. Of course, we want you to keep it going, like Lisa, who added over $50,000 in new contracts from her book in the first year. And Shelley, who handed out 360 books, which turned into 107 trial offers and over $100,000 in new client contracts. That's a pretty awesome conversion rate. Sound good to you? We're launching a new group of authors again very soon. To get started, just come see us.
All right, and Nicole's right back there, so you have to walk past her when you leave. Okay, gonna wrap up because I'm over time. So Shelley really leveraged the book as she opened, right? So if you're thinking, how do I launch and people know me? She had the book, she got on TV, she turned the TV appearance into a Facebook ad, she got into the newspaper. Guess who still reads the newspaper, right? There are people that still read the newspaper. So I want to close just real quick, couple of minutes. Don't be the lonely, isolated business owner. First of all, take advantage of the networking. I know there are some people in our mastermind that will let you buy them a drink if you want to talk to them. I'm sure, yep, see volunteers already, right? If you need help, reach out and ask for it. Success leaves clues. Follow them. Don't try to wander in the desert. Join our mastermind program. Mastermind applications will be available tomorrow. Just a couple of highlights of how it works. We meet 3 times a year, so it is a commitment to meeting. So like if you live in Australia, it's a big commitment. You could still do it though, right? Monthly coaching calls. On top of monthly coaching calls, you get 6 private calls with me. You get a strategy session with me. You get a private Facebook group with the owners, which is pretty powerful. Sometimes there's really good tips. Sometimes there's just, oh my gosh, can you believe what this client did to me? And you have somewhere to bounce that off of. There's support, there's accountability, there's guidance. Right? When Beth says, but if I could just grow to 9,000, and the whole room goes, come on, Beth, you can do better than that, right? And she's almost doubled that. And it's not just about making more money. It's really about impacting more people and improving your lifestyle, right? Like one of the things I loved hearing from you, Rosa, was that you're taking 2 vacations, right? I was like, that's pretty awesome, right? And when Lisa said, hey, I'm training less than ever, but making more money, that's pretty cool. So our mastermind coaching program's a lot of fun. We even got to tour Dr. Ken Cooper's office, which was really cool. Yeah, see, I knew someone would be jealous in the room. It was really cool. He took us down quite a walk through memory lane. You'll even find out how many hot dogs Canadian women can eat, which is pretty useless information, but apparently they can eat a lot. So Shelley, I think, ate 8 hot dogs. Dr. Evan Osar tapped out at 7. I don't know how many Cody ate, but I gave up at like 4. So we took him to an Arizona Diamondbacks game where it was all you could eat hot dogs, and apparently the Canadians go for that. So you'll have to ask Shelley about that. Lisa has had probably the most success with the book. It's somewhere between Lisa and Shelley. So you'll have to ask Lisa and Shelley and Nicole about that. The book, in my opinion, is the simplest done-for-you marketing thing we have. It cranks up word of mouth. If all you want to do is word of mouth, then publish the book, because guess what? You can get your clients to hand it out, you can get physicians to hand it out, you can get chiropractors to hand it out. I have a Custom Plus pharmacy that gives it away. I have people that come in from a doctor's office I've never set foot in Joyce takes him 10 books every time she goes. She's like, can I take more books to Dr. Mithke? I'm like, take as many as you want, right? And clients come in every so often, Dr. Mithke gave me your book, right? It's a powerful, powerful tool. Why would you design a business you hate? If you're miserable in your business, you should come to the luncheon tomorrow. If you want to open a business, you should come to the luncheon tomorrow. If you want to grow your business, you should come to the luncheon tomorrow. We have a Mastermind Interest Luncheon tomorrow during lunch. So if you're like, I'm not really sure what this Mastermind thing's about, I think I need help, I think I need a coach, I want to see my business grow, I would like to take a vacation, come to the Mastermind Interest Lunch. All you need to do is see Celia outside, say, I want to come to the Mastermind Interest Lunch. That's it, it's that easy, okay? I'll be around if you have specific questions about Mastermind. Otherwise, I want you to go have fun. There's tons of free food out there. There's vendors that want to see you. And there's a cash bar where you can buy drinks for Dina.